Hi guys, welcome to Busy Food Bee. I'm Mina. If you're new here, I create recipes for foodies who want to turn their love for food into a love of creating by learning how to cook approachable, diverse, and creative food right at home. Occasionally, I make videos about well-being because we can't do the things we love if we're not being taken care of, right? So the person responsible for taking care of us is us. And in this Tealizations and Coffeesations episodes, I share personal realizations that hopefully bring clarity or help anyone who's going through a season in life where you need to take care of yourself and lead it with grace, love, and understanding. In this second episode, we'll be talking about people pleasing. So for those of you who might be unfamiliar with the term, here's a formal explanation. People pleasing is a behavior pattern where someone consistently prioritizes others' needs, desires, or approval over their own well being, often to avoid conflict, gain acceptance, or feel valued. People pleasers typically struggle with setting boundaries, saying no, or expressing their true feelings, even when doing so negatively affects them. Now, you might be divided into a few camps on this one, but for simplicity's sake, I'll highlight just two. You might find yourself in Camp A and say, prioritizing others' needs isn't always bad, right? I mean, that's better than being selfish. And what's so bad about adjusting yourself to avoid conflict and gain acceptance? Everyone wants to feel belonged and accepted, right? Or you might be in Camp B and say, wow, contorting yourself to fit someone else's expectations, even if it negatively affects you, and struggling to set boundaries? No thanks. Now, yes, everyone wants to feel accepted, and avoiding conflict isn't inherently bad. But on the other hand, struggling to set boundaries and contorting yourself to fit the preferences of others, that's not ideal. Let me give you a real life example. Myself. I'm a people pleaser, and I'm on the road to stop being one. Let's zoom out a little to understand how being a people pleaser has affected me, my life, and my relationship with the people around me. Maybe then you'll want to reevaluate your camp or even build a new one. So grab a hot cuppa and a favorite snack because we're going on a little self-realization trip. I didn't know I was a people pleaser for a long time. I'm in my early 30s now, and I spent my entire 20s being one. Heck, I didn't even know that was a word for it. I walked around like a sponge. I soaked up everyone's emotions, especially the negative ones, and bent myself accordingly to make sure they were happy with me. I overcompensated by going the extra mile for people who wouldn't go the mile for me because I wanted them to like me, to love me, and to always think well of me. I said yes even when I was screaming no in my head because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. I nodded along to conversations that went against my beliefs. I laughed when someone made a hurtful or uncomfortable comment because I didn't want my feelings or opinions to be loud or disturbing. When I spoke up for my needs, my voice was low, almost like I was waiting for permission to speak. When I wanted to say I didn't like something or disagreed, I stopped myself because I wanted to keep the peace. I couldn't and I didn't want to do anything that might cast a negative light on me or make someone mad or cause someone to dislike me. But why? Because deep down, I so desperately wanted to be loved and accepted and to belong. So what was the cost? This is where we zoom in to what happens to our inner self when we people please. For me, the cost was self-trust, self-respect, a lack of respect from others, being taken advantage of intentionally or unintentionally, being more easily pressured, a slow loss of identity, depression, and feeling trapped by learned helplessness. And surprise, surprise, people don't actually love or accept me. They just love how I pleased them. So no real genuine connection with others because people pleasing attracts the wrong people, or rather keeps the wrong kinds of people around. And all of that pleasing burned me out, emotionally and mentally. And eventually, it spilled over into physical burnout too. So if the cost is so heavy, why do people please? It's a long story, but I'll keep it short to make a point. Childhood. Somewhere in our childhood, we were taught, either directly or subtly, that our needs and wants didn't matter. that they had no place, that we should shove them deep down, never to see the light of day, and instead focus entirely on the needs and wants of others, our caretakers, or whoever else. Because if we did try to prioritize our needs, we were told we were selfish, self-centered, bad. And when that happens, we develop shame around having needs or wants at all. That deep shame becomes the fuel for our people-pleasing tendencies. Also, people-pleasing becomes a way to cope with an environment where our needs weren't acknowledged or respected. It wasn't a safe environment, so to survive it, we learned to keep the peace. But make no mistake, it wasn't our peace we were keeping. It was the peace of the people benefiting from our unmet needs and wants. So what did I do? I started showing up for myself. How? First, I began destroying the roots of my people-pleasing tendencies, and like I mentioned, the root was shame. Nothing gets better without addressing the root. I watched Tim Fletcher's videos here on YouTube to help me with shame. Check out the links in the description below. He shares a lot of helpful content on people-pleasing, trauma, and more, so do check him out. I worked through the shame I felt whenever I tried to put myself first. And while it's still an ongoing journey and I'm not completely free of people-pleasing, I can recognize the small shifts within me. Yes, it was uncomfortable at first, it still is. Yes, I felt guilty for even thinking about my own wants and needs, and it still happens. But despite all, I choose to keep going, because I matter, and my wants and needs deserve to be advocated for by me, because that is my sacred duty to myself. So my question to you is this: do you recognize any people-pleasing tendencies in yourself, like the ones I mentioned earlier? If yes, what small step can you take to begin changing that and to advocate for yourself? That's it for today, guys. If you loved this episode, show me some love by giving this video a like, share it with someone you know who needs it, and subscribe for more. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell. And if you'd like to know more and read more from me, sign up and join my newsletter, link in the description. You'll get a freebie, stay updated on future vlogs, recipes, and more. And you'll also get a sweet deal on something exciting coming soon. For more on that, there will be a video coming soon about the big announcement. So do keep your eyes peeled. For food-related content, head to my website, busyfoodbee.com. So I'll see you in the next video. Donuts and milkshakes.